That's good enough, just post that.
All right, cool. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Angela. My married name is Beers, and I have to switch everything over, and I haven't done that yet, but I am in the process. But you might know me as Angela White. I have been a realtor for 8 years, and I'm super excited to teach you some things that I've experienced and learned with being with Keller Williams, and working specifically with Fsbos the latter half of last year, really, really intensely. Okay. So agenda for today, I want to do the 30-30-40 exercise, which is straight out of the Red Book. If you're not acquainted and in love with the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you should be. It is your guidebook and pathway to being a business owner in this industry. It is an awesome book, and so we're going to do a quick exercise, which is really high-level stuff. When I was a team leader over at Brandywine Valley, this is the stuff that we get to learn as team leaders. When you're on the ALC, you get some really cool, again, high-level, high-value stuff to add to your business. So I'm happy to be able to share some of this stuff with you because I think it's really kind of mind-blowing. So we'll do the 30-30-40. We'll talk about prospecting. You can do a little bit of everything, or you could just master one. Kind of depends on what you vibe with. We're going to talk about your mindset. We'll talk about your skill set. We'll talk about Fsbo personality type, what to expect when you're calling Fsbos, how you feel about Fsbos. We'll do all that fun stuff. We're going to talk about making the call. Why should they make an appointment with you? What do you have to offer? And we'll also talk about when you're making that call, how you're not telling them, you're not talking, right? Sales is 80% listening. You're doing a lot of questioning so that they can kind of have their own self-realization as to, why do I need a realtor, right? Because people, when you talk at people, they don't listen. We'll do a little bit of role playing, and then I'd like to make, if we can, some live calls. So I'd like to put some emphasis on these two things down here because you need to, break that ice and get over the fear of doing this. So that's kind of a what we'll try to do. So 30-30-40, let me make sure all right, I got everything there. Okay, so I want to do this exercise with you guys because it really puts things into perspective, okay? So I think wanting to make $100,000 a year is fair, yeah? As a real estate agent, you should be able to do that pretty easily, close to it, okay? So we want to make profit. That's why we're in business. You are now a small business owner. Congratulations. Nobody is paying you but you, okay? So your what you get paid is directly connected to the effort that you put in. Stop it. Are you letting me in here with me?
Okay.
You sweet man, of course it is. Oh my God, it's celebrity.
Angela White.
What is going on? So happy to see you guys. Okay, cool. So we're just going to do a quick 30-30-40 to check in on where your numbers need to be for this year, even though it's already second quarter, here we are, but nonetheless. Yes, so what you get paid is directly connected to the effort that you're putting in. So if you are not prospecting, you're not earning money, okay? So this is what we're doing today. We're learning about one way to prospect. So let's say you want to make $100,000, okay? We want to make profit every week, every month, every year. So right now we're going to look for how we can do $100,000 in a year. So let's just do this really quick. $100,000 divided by 12 months. This is what we're looking at every month, 8,333. All right, and then we divide that by 4, and we're looking at 2,083 a week. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of breakdown. In order to have profit, we have to have closings. Okay, so we'll do that. So in a good business, and this is straight from the Red Book, okay? A good business, that's why we call it the 30-30-40. 30% is going to expenses, 30% is going to cost of goods, and 40% is profit, okay? So we're going to work with that 40% number. We can talk a little bit about this, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. Maybe we could sidebar later about what your expenses and cost of goods are. But for the most part, you're looking at, as a realtor, about 40% profit, okay? So what do we need to gross if that's the case? What do we need to gross annually in order to take home that 100K? So 100,000, divided by 0.4, we're looking, we need to gross $250,000. Okay, sounds like big numbers, but you know, once you get into it and you get your business rolling, it's really not. So 75K, we're talking about going to expenses. Another 75, we're talking about cost of goods. And then again, $100,000 a year profit, all right? But we need closing. So how do we do that? So what is the, hold on one sec, I have to check my notes because I haven't done this exercise in a minute. Okay, so what is the average house for sale in our area? What's the median price?
So let's just say 300K.
Okay, let's say 300K, I like that. And are you taking, Mr. Stout, 3%, 2.5%, 2.75%?
I figure we play with 2.5. Since
2.5 is
that's what we
fair.
usually get.
Yeah, I think that's realistic. So let's do 300,000 times 0.025, and we're looking at $7,500 per house sold, right? So let's figure out how many closings that we need in a year. So 250,000 divided by 7,500 is, shit, what did I do? 3.3, hold on. This is where I screwed it up last time. So 250,000 divided by, what did I say, my 7,500 is 33. That's better. So we need 33 closings in a year.
If your average price range is not 300,000, because some people in here probably are, lower,
Say 200.
like, then change up these numbers.
Yeah, change
guys.
up the numbers. Change up the numbers.
You
Yeah.
just switch them to 200. Switch
Yeah.
them to 200.
Yeah.
So okay, so
Why
let's
don't you do 200 just
200.
as another example?
So
of
let's
this.
do 200 times 2.5% is 5,000, okay? So then we do the 250,000 divided by 5,000, and we need 50 closings a year. All right, so let's work with that number. So 50 closings a year divided by 12.
See, that's why you got to get that number up.
You do. But a lot of
This is
people
ex-
start out,
Yes.
in lower ranges.
Yeah. of
It's
course.
exactly why you have to get that number up, and that's why you have to be really intentional about where you're prospecting, okay? Like, I prospect in Westchester. That's where I like to do my business. I'm familiar with that area. I like it. It's a higher price point. Media, Wallingford, that's where I like to go. So anyway, so now we have 50 at $200,000. And then we're gonna divide that by 12, and we're gonna round up, so that gives us 5 closings a month, and then we'll do another 4, so let's just say 1 per week, okay? So, seems pretty doable, but in order to do closings, we need listings, okay? And the good red book says that a healthy business is 50% listings, 50% buyers, okay? When you have listings, buyers come. You got your signs up, you've got your social media going, you're doing circle prospecting around your listings, you're doing all kinds of fun things, you're looking for new clients, but the buyers will come, okay? So then listings, we're gonna just divide this by 2, because in a balanced business, you have 50-50. So you're expecting half of your sales to come from buyers, okay? So that means we need 25 listings in a year, right? Does that all make sense to everybody so far? I don't wanna kill a ton of time with this, but I'm just gonna keep rounding up, so that's 13 a month, and then we'll just do 3. So that's 3 listings a week. I know these numbers seem really intense, but trust me, I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, 3 closings. Anyway, we're working on this. I don't know if that my number there makes sense, but I rounded up for that. So we'll leave it. And then lastly, appointments. And this is the most important thing that I want to get to. Appointments. So how many appointments are you taking for every 3? How many listings are you taking for every 3 appointments? We'll say 1, maybe 2, maybe 1. Let's say 1. Let's say 1.
Better be more than 1.
If you're new, you're starting out.
It should be 1.5 to 2.
It should be, but I'm gonna let's just say 1 for now. And, you know, you guys are practicing, most of you in here are pretty new, so we'll just do, so you need 75 appointments a year, okay? And then 6, I'm rounding up, and then 4. So I haven't done this exercise in a really long time, so forgive me. This is 1.5, so we'll round it up to 2. All right, so 2 listing appointments a week. So we can rework this into whatever your average sale price is and whatever you're taking for commission, but just to give you an idea of average numbers to see a net profit of $100,000 a year, okay? So the only thing you should be doing when you have your office time or downtime is prospecting. Lead gen, lead gen, lead gen. And so I'm going to talk to you today about for sale by owners.
If they went to the red book, do you think in the index in the back, if you look up 30, 30, 40 would be in there? I don't know where this is in the book.
Yeah, it's also called something else. It's
It would be good to review it.
Yeah. It's there's another name for it, but the 30, 30, 40 is the short name, the short version that I've learned. So, but there's another name in the red book for it. But yes, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah.
It's definitely in there.
Does everybody have a red book? See
I
me
would hope
later
so.
if you don't.
Yeah, you guys all should definitely, like I said, it's just really, really good stuff. So again, this just gives you some concept. 50 closings, if we're at that 200K price point, then you need 25 listing appointments a year, and we're looking for 75 appointments, assuming that you're only gonna get 1. Hopefully you'll get 2, okay? So that gives you some concept. So today, now that I've gotten through this, we're gonna talk about prospecting. So how is everybody getting business right now? Rob, what you doing? You're new, what are you doing?
Sphere of influence.
Cool, very cool. Qualifying them, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, guess what? I am a professional real estate agent. Yes, how can I serve you? Right, do you have an agent? Are you looking for, do you have an agent right now? Are you looking to buy or sell any houses this year? Can I keep in contact with you? Awesome, okay. What else are you doing? Or you plan to do?
Social media.
Okay, social media. Is that prospecting or marketing?
Can it be both?
It's a passive form of prospecting. It works for some things, but I think it's more marketing, personally. But we can talk about that. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Lisa.
What is it?
Lisa.
Lisa, what are you doing right now?
I did send out golden letters,
Nice.
so I just been doing that.
Very cool. Are you following up with a phone call to all your golden letters?
Some of them.
Okay.
Not all of them.
Okay, cool. Yes. So let me show you guys, let me introduce you guys to something very special. See this piece of equipment right here? This piece of equipment has literally made me a lot of money. A lot of money. I'm shooting for 6 figures every year. This one simple $200 piece of equipment has gotten me a lot of money. Why? It's the most cost-efficient way to prospect. You guys get comfortable on the phones. If you can't get comfortable calling your sphere of influence, how are you going to call FSBOs? Scary. Who likes to call FSBOs?
Angela White does.
Everybody likes it. It's so much fun, right? So we'll get into this, but you know, you can do lots of different things for prospecting, and the phone is a great way. I choose the phone. I love the phone. I think it's a lot of fun. I want to be directly connected to homeowners, right? And so when I'm doing that, you can do HomeSnap. If you guys have a HomeSnap Pro, you can get likely to list leads from there with contact information, phone numbers. You can do Vulcan 7, which is what I do. You can just go straight to Zillow and pay nothing and find all the FSBOs on Zillow who are just advertising the big white flag, help me sell my house. See, that's what I think a FSBO is doing. They're asking for my help. They're not telling me to stay away because I know that I have the skills to help them get the highest and best value for their property. So why wouldn't I be calling them? They need me, right? I'm of service, aren't I?
Dude, this is like some people would come in and teach this class and it would be a load of horse crap because they won't actually make these calls. I have heard Angela make these calls and she actually likes them.
I actually like
And this
them.
enthusiasm is real.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
That's why I can't
actually
stop
like
smiling.
them. I've been called a vulture, I've been called a shitbag, I've been called all kinds of things. but I don't care because I've also closed a lot of business and there is someone who needs me out there. So, you know, we're in the line of service that I want to be of service. So that's the mindset that you need to do. So, all right, prospecting. I think we're all clear that we need to be actively prospecting every single day. Social media is great. I like to video myself if I'm doing something cool, or like there was power lines in the back of a house I was showing and I was like, would you buy this house? Yes or no? Like those kinds of interactive polls I think are fun. But at the end of the day, like I said, I want to have a direct line to as many sellers as I can possibly get. So you can be creative in that, which is really fun. Like I like bubbles. So I will say homeowners, right? Here's my homeowner bubble. Now, how do I connect with homeowners? Because all I want is listings. All I give a shit about is listings, right? Buyers will come. So give me some ways, you guys, I can connect with homeowners, right? We got the phone. What else? What else? Let's get creative.
Lisa's golden letters.
Golden letters, yes. All right.
Knocking.
Door knocking. Dun, dun, dun.
I love door knocking.
I see. That's what you want to hear. When you
I
love
always
it, go
enjoyed
do
it.
it. That's perfect.
Hey, how are you? You know,
Door
I love
knocking.
door knocking. You guys have to get like happy about it.
Especially with your sphere of influence.
Right.
Especially, it's springtime. Well, this is what I did for 1 year. I got all these little packets of seeds and I stapled my business card and I went around like a big old cheese ball to all the people that I love and I was like, spring has sprung. You know, the market's heating up. Here's some, seeds or whatever. And it's just a reason. It's a fun reason for me to go by, remind them I'm a realtor, and give them a gift. Again, I'm a person of service. I want to bring joy and happiness to people, right? So that's a great way to do it. So door knocking. What else? I want to get in front of homeowners. No. Close. You want open houses is solely for buyers. I mean, every now and then, depending on the house you're in, you might find someone who's downsizing. Those numbers are really slim, in my opinion. Some experienced agents may disagree, agree, I don't know. Okay, so golden letters, door knocking, phone calls. What's another way I wanted to tell you guys to get in front of sellers? You can do cool things, like you can do a lot of, you can get together with like a contractor or a painter, see if they'll offer you some discounts if you work with them and solely recommend them. I did a lot of business-to-business marketing when I first started, and it's a great way to get into your community, let people know that you're a realtor, and say, how can I help you? How can we help each other? So then you can send those out in a postcard or letters or whatever, like, hey, for a limited time, Angela, the realtor, has a 10% discount if you guys do a spring cleaning with this cleaning company, right? So there's lots of different fun things that you can do. Think outside this box and don't be scared. There's lots of fun things that you can do to get in front of homeowners, okay? So that all goes into your mindset, okay? So why are you all here today? Why did you want to come to this class and learn about calling FSBOs?
To get listings.
Thank you. Anybody else? What's your name? I'm sorry.
Peggy,
Peggy.
Yes.
We met before, right?
Yes.
Okay.
to get more listings,
Yes. To get more listings.
how you can help them.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. Then there's a good way we can do that. So your mindset is everything. For me, I call myself an apex predator. I'm a shark. That's what I say. I say it to myself. I say you got to be a shark because if I'm not, somebody else is going to be. Now this is my personality type. I'm a type A. I'm a high D. I'm a high I. I've got all my personality. I know who I am, and I know what best serves me in my approach for people. So you have to know who you are. So mindset. What are y'all doing in the morning to prep yourself for the day? Because I want to know morning rituals.
Coffee.
Coffee. Paul.
Yes,
Does that get your juices flowing?
it does.
You get all fired up and you're ready to hit the
It
phones.
does very much. So.
Very nice. Anything else you're doing in the mornings?
Early mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I, call somebody in script practice.
There you go. That definitely gets you fired up. I love that. Role playing first thing in the morning gets you fired up. It's so much fun. So whether you're going on the app, whether you're hitting up Clubhouse and finding some role playing partners in there, whether you've got some in the office, whoever, whatever, role playing gets me fired up. Role play from 8 to 9 and then hit the phones from 9 to noon. That's the best. So, highly recommend, if you can, work out, meditate, fire breathing, move your body, go for a walk, figure it out.
I do warrior poses.
Warrior pose. Wait.
I do it every day,
Yeah.
and I really like focus.
Yes, yes. Stand there in the mirror like this. Whatever it is you got to do. But that morning ritual is everything. We're in sales. We're on all the time. All the time. So if you're not fired up about that, if you're not excited, if you drank and ate a cheeseburger at midnight and slept in late, your motivation and your fire is going to be real dim. Okay, so obviously I don't think anybody here is doing that, but just mindset is everything. Also, being of service. Again, I want to be of service to people. That is what gives me the gumption to call them. Okay, so when I get that, I'm in that state of mind, and then I put on my headset. I dress appropriately. I'm fired up and I'm feeling good. I'm ready to hit the phones. Okay, skill set. So you got to get ready and you got to be stoked, but then you got to have your skill set in alignment as well. Meaning, know your contracts, know your listing agreement, know your seller disclosures, knowing how, because these are all tools, you guys. When you're talking to for sale by owners who don't know that what you know, you have to know what they don't know, which is knowing the contracts, knowing all the things that go into listing a home and getting it sold for them. So your skill set has to be there. Your listing presentation. How many have a prepped and ready listing presentation that a floor call came in today and you were sitting floor and somebody said, I want to sell my house. Who would be prepared to get their ass out there and do it? Yes. Good for you. I'm glad. That's super important. Like, you have to be ready to deliver, okay? Because people can say anything. I can sit there on the phone and say anything, but then when I get in front of Mr. Seller, I can totally miss it, right? Okay, Fsbo personality type. So you guys tell me, there's a reason that most of you probably fear calling people. Does anybody fear calling Fsbos? Yes, why? Let's get real. Why?
Rejection.
Rejection, yes. Anything else?
They're mean.
Some can be
Mean and
very.
very rude.
Where were you when I sell my house before? That's the main thing.
Oh, really? Do you hear that a lot? Oh, when you're calling expires? Ah, you got me now.
Yeah.
You got me now, man.
Yeah.
That's it. I always empathize when I'm on the phones with an expired or a Fsbo that had a bad experience with a realtor. I always empathize with them. I am so sorry to hear that. How was that experience for you? What went wrong, do you think? That's me connecting with them. That's me building rapport. I don't give a shit about myself at that point. I want to understand what's making them tick. A lot of Fsbos have had a bad experience with a real estate agent. Whether it was listed or not, I don't know. Or maybe they had a friend who they didn't see the value of the realtor, which is a huge thing. Fsbos are typically drivers. They can be type A's. They can be a little bit more aggressive or think that they're, they just know more than you. All right, which is why the skill set needs to come into play with Fsbos, because some do know a lot. Some Fsbos are very smart. Some are lawyers. I've never listed a lawyer's home ever because they're really rough and they really think look, I've been told your job isn't that difficult. So that's when I have to backtrack and say, okay, what can I offer them? But Fsbo personality types are harsh, they can be mean, and here's why, okay? Understand the why. When they put their home up on Zillow, how many agents are calling them? All of them, most of them. And they're answering their phone wanting to play realtor, and on the other end is a realtor saying, oh, this is the worst, please don't ever do this. I might have a buyer for your house. Can I come preview it? Don't ever please do that. Don't fake it. Don't pretend that you have a buyer, because once you try to do the switch it up a little bit there, right, where you go in and you're like, I don't have a buyer, but I'd love to list this, you've lost all credibility. So just do yourself a favor. When you make your call, you stand firm in who you are. My name is Angela White. I'm with Keller Williams. I'm a listing specialist. I specialize in bringing highest and best value to your home. I'd really like an opportunity to meet with you. Okay, I don't bullshit people as to why I'm calling them. All right. So that's the type of personality type that we're dealing with. And if you know personality types, then you'll know how you need to match and mirror that person. Okay, and this is sales. Be a chameleon. When I'm on the phone with Sally talks low and she's a little timid, I back this down because I'm going to scare her. So then I become a little more timid. I soften my voice. But with my Fsbos, you know, what do you want? I've got 2 seconds to talk to them. Okay, expired, same thing. The minute you say you're a realtor, they're like defensive, don't want anything to do with you. It's really, really important that you match and mirror, and if you need to be quick to get to the point of what you're saying, then think of something profound to say. Hi, I'm Angela. I'm a real estate agent in your area. That's not going to get it done. They're going to hang up on you, okay? So
Give us that speech again, Angela. It was so good.
What was that?
Say what you say again, because it was so good.
Oh, I say, hey, Mr. Seller, my name is Angela White. I am a realtor with Keller Williams, or I'm a listing specialist with Keller Williams. I specialize in getting the highest and best value for your home. I'd like an opportunity to do that with you.
There you go.
Right? Like, that's what I do. Because everybody says they're a realtor or a real estate agent, and that doesn't have a lot of meaning. So you have to think of something sharper and something that's more profound to get their attention. Okay? So what can we offer for sale by owners that they are not getting on Zillow? I'll give you a hint, it's on the board. It's exposure. Exposure. So, yes, they can hire a lawyer. Yes, they can print the SPD off the internet and fill it out themselves. Okay, so if you're starting to think, well, do you have a seller disclosure? Some of them do. Some of them got it from a realtor who wanted to help them out. You know, you get a lot of those realtors. Don't be those people either. On Vulcan 7, they have a Facebook post, and basically it's like, this one guy said, I spent 6 months with them, and I coached them up, and I shared everything with them, and I gave them the seller disclosure, and they listed with someone else. Like, don't be that person. You give them just enough. So anyway, they might have the seller disclosure already filled out. So you're like, shit, what do they need me for now? Exposure. Because every morning you have the key to where all the realtors go to look for new listings. And we all know how many buyers are out there looking for new listings. So, Mr. Seller, I'm not saying you can't sell your own house. You probably can. But why are you only looking for one offer when I can provide maybe 5 to 10? And be quiet and let them answer. Okay, that's what I say to people on the phone. That's just a little, very simple part of my script. Exposure, you kill it with exposure, you ask for the appointment, okay? So let's just take a break because I've been talking for a half hour. Questions? Talk to me, how you feeling? What are you thinking? Fears, objections that you've gotten so far on the phones if you have called for sale by owners or expireds? Yes?
Your commission.
It's negotiable. And that's all I'll say. Most typically is what thank you for bringing that up. So the one thing you need to understand is when you're calling Fsbos, or if you choose to utilize them as a way to get business, you are going to be negotiating your commission pretty hard, okay? If you don't feel confident with doing that, you need to work on it before you get to the appointment, because they don't want to pay 6%. That's why they're selling the home themselves. So let's unpack that though, okay? Why don't they want to pay 6%? They don't see your value. Their house has a large mortgage on it. Maybe they've taken out a home equity line or second. Maybe they're inundated with debt and they're just barely scraping together enough to have a little bit of money to walk away with.
They think they know it all.
They think they know it all. That goes back to your value. They don't see your value. So there are reasons that people don't want to pay the 6%. Those are the two that I find most common. number one, your value, they don't see it, nobody's ever explained it well enough to them. And number two, they might be sacked with a bunch of debt and not really making much money from the sale of their house. Maybe they need to sell, or there's health issues, you don't know. When you qualify them, you'll hopefully find out a little bit more. But my commission is negotiable. I have taken it at 4.5%. I'm not afraid to say that because I would rather close 3 of those deals than none. You know what I mean? Especially when my median sale price was $450, $425. So I'll take that money all day long, okay? Because somebody else is going to. You're in massive competition with a couple other realtors. Get to know your competition. There's a couple other realtors that specialize in for sale by owners, and they'll take it at 1%. I think one's with Remax, and there was one other one. So they'll take theirs at 1%, and then they'll pay the 2.5% to the buyer's agent. You may not want to compete with that. You know what I mean? I lost 2 listings because of that. Great appointment, thought he was going to be with me and sign, and then he had 1 appointment after me, and that guy said he would take it at 1%, so 3.5% total. So you are going to be definitely negotiating your commission.
I
Okay.
think our minimum though here is 4.5. So if you have to go below that, you're gonna have to get permission to go below that.
Yeah. It's rough. I mean, again, 1.75. I mean, it gets that granular with some of these people. Right. It gets that granular. 1.75, 1.55. Like, it can get that way. So that's kind of the deal. But for me, I'm just like, well, what's your commission? Well, it kind of depends on what you need. But I really prefer that I was in front of you to have that conversation, and you can decide what's going to be most important to you in getting your house sold. Something along those lines. You know what I mean? Any other questions about commission? Just kind of is what it is.
Right.
That's,
Can you give us, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you give us more like, okay, so that's how you deal with it on the phone.
Yeah.
You say it's negotiable, I want to be in front of you.
Yeah.
So then you get in front of them, they present you, hey, another agent's told me they'll list it for 1%. Where do you take it from there?
That's really hard. I've asked, what's the other agent bringing to the table? You get what you pay for. Are they doing professional photography? Are they doing, a great video? Are they taking aerial shots of your property? And I don't give a crap, by the way. If it's a $200,000 house or a $600,000 house, my marketing package doesn't change. They get the same professional photography, the same video, the same cool, whatever I'm doing for this house, I'm doing for that house, even if it's a bigger dollar point. So I always make that known. And honestly, the other thing is you can use this, which is great. Hey, Mr. Seller, I hear what you're saying. They're willing to do it for 1%, but if they're willing to negotiate their money that low, what do you think they're going to do with yours? If they're not willing to stand up for you for their own money, then how do you expect them to do it with yours? You want a tough negotiator, and that's me. That's it. So that's how I approach it. Sometimes it gets it done, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
And you're not going to win them all, you guys. I'm just trying to give you enough tools to win a few. But you're not going to win them all. It just won't. I didn't win them all.
So we talked about our 1 out of 3 number. What would you say number is when you get a Fsbo appointment? Because it sounds like it might be realistically less than we would expect for a listing lead that we get through a different method. What would you say your percentage of listings taken when you get the appointment is when it's a Fsbo? Is it 50-50? Is it 40-60?
I did pretty well. I would, thinking of all the deals I did last year, I think it was 75-25, maybe 70-30. 70-30 for me, but that's because I go in there and I'm not leaving until I get it signed. That could take a little while.
That was my next question.
He says no. My first Fsbo was in media. Over
Is it the dude up on the hill?
The dude up on the hill. He was my very first Fsbo. I feel like we share so much. You know that? Steve Stout. So he was up on the hill, and I was nervous. And I walk in, and his name is Dave, and Dave and I are good friends. He now lives in Hilton Head. He built his own house. He's a really cool guy, and he said to me by the end, I didn't expect to do this today. And I was like, well, that's why I'm here. Like, that's why I came here. I didn't come here to leave so you could meet with 2 other realtors after me. I came here to get this done today. And so I'll say to a seller, what do we got to do to get this done today? That's it. Have I answered your questions about my company? And this is the listing presentation, right, Maggie? Have I answered all your questions about the company I'm with, Keller Williams? Yes. Anything you're concerned about there? No. Have I answered all your questions in regards to how I'm going to sell your property? Yeah. Okay. Have I answered how much you're going to pay for those services? Yeah. So is there any reason that would keep you from signing with me today? And then I just hang out and I wait. Awkward silence is the best. If they're silent, they're thinking. If they haven't said no, and even if they do say no, it doesn't matter. You just keep asking the question. No, it doesn't matter. You go ahead and you ask the question a different way. Just keep asking until they kick you out. And then you're done. Then you're not going to work with them anyway. Okay, so that's just kind of where we're at in terms of exposure when you're making the calls. That's what you can offer. And then you really want them to have self-awareness. Hey, Mr. Seller, what's the one thing that, and I ask this question, what's the one thing you think I can offer you that you're not getting right now on Zillow? And I'll just sit there and I'll be quiet. And I'll be like, exposure. And then I go in to tell them, hundreds of agents check the MLS every single morning for their buyers and for new leads. Are you getting that exposure right now? No. I love asking questions. The answers I already know. Are you getting that exposure? Oh, you're not. You're not. Okay. So would it be worth your time to meet with me for a few minutes and we can talk about what that exposure looked like when it translates to offers, multiple offers, right? Let's just talk about it. So I'm always, I say my point and then close it. Get the appointment, close it. Go back and get the appointment, close it. Say another point, they say no, they're still not setting with me. Go back and say something else that I hope is impactful and then set the appointment. Okay?
The question asked about the Zillow, they know what they're not getting, they don't know what they don't know. So you tell them.
It's so great. They think everybody goes to Zillow, but realtors sell homes. Don't ever forget that. That's why we're in one of the most awesome businesses out there. I love being in sales. Realtors sell homes. Yes, you can sell your house on your own. I've double backed with many Fsbos that have sold their own house. Congratulations, how'd it work out for you? Great, you got one offer. You were satisfied with the one offer? Sure, okay, cool. I'm really happy for you. Keep my name and number if you ever need a good realtor. I'd love to be able to help you. I stay in contact with all my Fsbos. They know people. So they don't know what they don't know, which is a really, really good point. And so you have to tell them sometimes those things, or just frame it in a question to help them realize themselves what they don't know, okay? Okay, cool. So does anybody want to do a little role playing? Yes. You'll be the seller.
I was gonna say one more thing.
Yeah,
before you
please,
move
go
on,
ahead.
Because under this exposure thing,
Exposure.
in this market, why would you want to look at one offer when a real estate agent can provide you with up to 15
Oh yeah,
offers?
oh yeah. My poor buyers.
Do you really want to wade through 15 agreements of sale on your own to try to determine which one is the best
Right.
one for you? So I mean, that to me is even more value, the fact that we actually have to review that many freaking offers.
Right. We're reviewing the offers, we're reviewing the terms, we're reviewing the timeframes, we're calling the lender.
Right.
We're making sure that those buyers are well qualified and able to perform. I mean, everything that they need, negotiating on their home, negotiating through inspections, there is too much for many sellers of an emotional connection to be able to navigate the negotiation process unbiased or unemotionally. They get very offended. And so I've had that conversation with sellers. How do you feel about negotiating repairs on your own home?
Right.
Are you willing to pay 2.5% or 3% to a buyer's agent? Well, for a little bit more, you can have your own representation. Who's representing you? who's protecting you? Who's ensuring that this is being done to the best it can possibly, you know what I mean? Like, they need an advocate. They don't know that they need an advocate, but they need an advocate. And you guys are those people for them.
See, in this market, they think they don't need an advocate. But
Right.
the reality is they need an advocate more.
Right.
Because it's so confusing and
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
100%. This whole seller's market thing gets people very, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say cocky, but it gets homeowners feeling like this is easy.
Right.
This is
right.
easy. This is a seller's market. They're going to do what I want. They're going to do what I say, and I'm going to sell my house, and that's going to be it. So I agree with you completely. What are you going to do with 10 offers? And that's what I say. So
Right.
that's what I say on the phone.
Right.
Like, you know, how would you navigate 10 if you receive 10 offers from listing your property on Zillow? How would you navigate that? Do you know what you're looking for? Like, you know, those things, those are just real questions. But again, it goes back to skill set. I'm an experienced realtor. I know what the market's really like. I know how I can help them. And I keep bringing those things back into the front of their mind so they realize they need me, and then I set the appointment. Keep going back, set the appointment. Go ahead, Rob.
So, just like, since I don't have much experience or any experience really, but
It's okay.
I didn't realize that they still have to pay the buying agent.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't have to pay anybody. I've called Fsbos and I said, how much are you paying your buyer's agents? We're not paying anybody anything. And I said, good luck selling your house. I'll be in touch in the future. I mean, seriously, you find me a buyer that is chosen to be unrepresented. I have yet to find a buyer that's chosen to be unrepresented and is looking for Fsbos in their own houses. It's almost impossible.
Do people usually know that they have to pay the buyer agent, or if they like should?
Yes.
They do know.
Yes, they do know. And that's another thing that I mentioned, especially when we're, you know, talking about commission at the appointment. Like, listen, you know, buyer's agents bring your buyers. So yeah, you could pay them 2.5%, but they're gonna work a lot harder for 3%. You know, what's 0.5% more? It's not, it's, you know, so just, yeah. So a lot of them will say, am cooperating at 2.5% or 2%. I've seen 2%, but yeah, okay?
Then they're giving all their power to the buyer agent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So think about that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the buyer agent brings the agreement of sale. They have all the power. What are you negotiating directly with the buyer's agent?
Yeah.
I mean, that's stupid.
Yeah, so intense. How do you do, like, yeah, there's just so much.
You're just making me think of all these things to say. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes, and it's funny because you have this vault inside of you of all, because you have all this experience and you've done business, and so you'd be surprised when you get on the phone with them. And you know, the first thing that I say when I'm calling a Fsbo is just like, hey, good morning, Mr. Seller. This is Angela with Keller Williams. I specialize in listings, and I see that you just put a home for sale on Zillow in the area that I service. How's it been going for you? And I just kind of let them talk. Oh, it's been going good. We had a bunch of showings this weekend. I'm having an open house on Saturday. Really? That's so great. How many showings have you had so far? Oh, 3. Ooh, were they with buyer's agents? I just start asking questions until they say, why are you calling? Because then I'm like, well, I want to list your home, you know, and then I get into exposure, okay? And that's when I say, what's the one thing you think I could bring you that Zillow's not bringing you? Let them answer the question. And then I get into numbers, you know, like the hundreds of agents that have several buyers each that are looking for their home and how we can get their home into that market, right? Okay, so somebody be my seller. Steven Stout. I'm a little out of practice, so don't beat me up. But we're gonna do it. And then and then I want to see. I'll pull up Vulcan and see if I can make some live calls to some for sale by owners. Okay, go. Let's do bring. Okay. I don't look at people when I'm role playing. Okay. Bring.
Hello?
Good Good morning, Mr. Stout. This is Angela. I'm a listing agent with Keller Williams. I see that you own 123 Main Street.
Do you have a buyer for my house, Angela?
I could bring you many buyers, Mr. Stout.
Angela, do you have a buyer for my house?
I do not particularly have a buyer for your house, but I would like to
Why
show
are you calling me, Angela?
because I want to show you, Mr. Seller. I'm going to call you Mr. Seller. Because I'm going to show you, Mr. Seller, how I can bring you 20 buyers. How would you feel about that?
The Zillow's bringing me 20 buyers. I don't need a real estate agent. I don't need somebody to do what I can do myself.
You're right, Mr. Seller. I'm not saying that you can't sell your own house in this market, because I bet you can. But how would you feel about having 10 offers versus 1?
I mean, as long as I get my number, I don't need 10 offers. I just need the right offer.
Becomes attorney.
Pause. That's exactly what they said.
It is
That's exactly what they
And
said.
it's exactly what us buyers agents tell listing agents,
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly what they said. So wait, all right, start again. Say what you just said to me.
Well, Angela, I don't need 10 offers. I just need the right offer.
Absolutely, 100%. But wouldn't you rather have 10 offers to pick the right offer? How do you know that that one offer is the right offer, Mr. Seller? I'd love an opportunity to sit down with you and just kind of share with you some really awesome ideas to get the highest and best value out of your property. Are you available tomorrow?
So Angela, as you've probably seen on my listing, I've already said I'm willing to pay a buyer's agent 2.5%. So my property listed at just over $1 million. You're essentially asking to take another $25,000 to $30,000 out of my pocket. I'm not comfortable with that. So no, I don't have availability tomorrow.
Absolutely. I hear you loud and clear, Mr. Seller. I hear you loud and clear. 2.5 is a lot to pay for a buyer's agent. However, I think it's really important that you have an advocate to protect your greatest asset. I think I can show you my value, and I'd love an opportunity to do that with you if you just give me maybe a half hour tomorrow at like 4 o'clock.
Well, I'd have to ask my wife before I do anything anyway. So why don't you call me back in, I don't know, 24 to 36 hours.
You know what, Mr. Seller? I know getting the wife's approval is serious business, trust me. And I totally respect that. What do you say we tentatively set something for tomorrow night? That'll give you enough time to chat with her. I'll call to confirm, and we can go from there.
I would really rather talk to her before setting an appointment. She keeps the calendar.
I get that. Okay, absolutely. So here's what we'll do. When's going to be the best time to call you back to confirm our appointment?
Wait, Angela, did you say you have a buyer or do you not have a buyer? Why are we even talking about this? Do you have a buyer?
Mr. Seller, you have been so awesome and so patient with me, and I'm really, really grateful. I really, really, really respect your time, and I just know that I can be of service to you. I do not have a buyer. I specialize in listings. This is what I do, and I want to help you get the highest and best value for your property. Just give me a little bit of an opportunity to share what I can do. I'll show
All right, fine.
you.
Call me back at 9:30 tomorrow, Angela.
9:30 in the morning, Mr. Seller?
Yes.
Sounds good. Hey, listen, just in case I can't reach you, what's your email address, and I'll shoot you a confirmation of this
Just
phone
give
call.
me a call tomorrow.
Thanks, Mr. Seller. So I got his permission, and it's so good. I just love it, because that's exactly what they do. It's so cute. It's so good.
These are so mean.
It's so good. I love it. That's real deal, and that's why role playing is so important. And when you find a good role play partner, you don't want them to take it easy on you, because some people are very nice. Your tone means everything on the phone. Your confidence, how you're doing things. It can get people to be much nicer to you. I'm always super friendly. I'm like, happy Monday. How was your Easter? I just treat people like they're my besties. Let's do somebody else. Let me be the seller and somebody else role play with me. Come on, who wants to do it? You're here to learn. Oh, Mike? Yeah. All right, my dog. Okay.
Mike, you want to make these?
All right, here we go.
It's good, Steve.
You dial me up. Okay. Go ahead.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Miss White?
Indeed, it is. Who's this?
Hi, Miss White. My name's Michael. I'm calling about the property you have for sale in Zillow.
Oh, Michael. Yeah. Okay. Are you a realtor?
I am a realtor. I'm a listings specialist.
Awesome. Well, how can I help you, Michael?
I wanted to see if I could take a few minutes of your time, if you're busy Tuesday or Thursday. I want to come over and show you exactly what it is that I do, even in this great seller's market, that'll get you a lot more money than anybody. Oh my God, I messed up. I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's
No,
okay, you're so good.
That'll show you how to get even more money than you could possibly think that you could get for your home in today's market.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, listen, I'm having an open house on Saturday. Really excited about it. We already have a bunch of people that signed up on my little online sign-in sheet. So maybe if that doesn't work out, we can talk after that.
It's great you're having an open house. It's great to get exposure. What would you say if I could come over before the open house and show you what I do to get you more exposure that'll actually get you many, many more people through your open house?
I don't know, we already got this all planned, so I don't want to dip out on it. Yeah, no, I really think I just want to wait until after my open house. Yeah, I think I'd rather just do that because I already have people signed up on my little list.
It's not
So you can either go to the open house and introduce yourself. Hey, I was just in the neighborhood. Or you can, what I did and have done is, you know what, that sounds great. I hope you have a great open house, and how about I set an appointment with you, after the open house. We can review how everything went, and maybe talk about some other ways to get you some awesome exposure on your property. So either way, I'll be straight with you guys. One call appointment, maybe half the time, less than half the time. You're following up with these people. I followed up for 3 to 4 months for one Fsbo, and it paid off great. They're great people, and I love them. But I left them voicemails on their home voice machine twice a month, every month, just to call in, say hi. They never answered. I knew they got my messages, but that might be what you need to do in a case where they're having an open house.
Sure.
There was a guy just recently in Wallingford. He had a great little farmhouse. It was stone, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to sell this." And I called him, and he's like, "I'm having an open house." And I said, "Well, I'll call you afterwards." And it was sold during the open house, or someone made an offer.
Right.
It happens. You're not going to get them all, right? But you did great in terms of saying, "Hey, why don't I come before then? Worst comes to worst, shit, I'll give you some pointers for your open house, but we'll get to meet, and I'll get to show you some ways that I can offer you the maximum exposure to get maximum sale price of your house," whatever, okay? So having a script is really important, knowing what you're gonna say when you go into it, and then practice. You just need to practice. You're gonna fall on your face, but that's good. You're supposed to. We're human. Okay, so here, let's do this really quick. I'm gonna pull up Vulcan, and let's see if we can get a Fsbo online.
Oh my God, you're a brave woman.
It's Monday.
How much you pay a month for Vulcan?
I got a sweet deal, brother. I pay $185 a month for Vulcan.
So 185 is for FSBOs, FRBOs, and just your standard neighborhood search.
Yeah.
If you want the premium, it goes up to the 300 number.
Yeah, all I need is just give me
Yeah.
some phone numbers and a cool way to sort them. And
I did the premium. The premium's not worth the extra.
Yeah, I need to kick that around recently.
No,
It
man.
expires.
You get Vulcan is so on point that you get the person you need pretty much on the first call 80% of the time.
yeah, so you guys, I don't know what you're using. Obviously, you want to use Command for keeping your track of your clients and tasks. Command is a wonderful tool. You really need to just hug it and love it. There's a lot going on there that you can use. But Vulcan is awesome. And so I started off using the Red X, which was like $99 a month. And all I needed was phone numbers and names. And they were kind of accurate enough. Where I'm like, "Hey, do you own 123 Main Street?" And they're like, "No, you got the wrong number." And I'm like, "Well, do you have anything I can help you with for real estate this year? Because since I've got you on the phone, you make the most of it." But the Red X worked really, really great for me. Vulcan I love because the information is more accurate, but it can be a touch more pricey. So for what I have, Fsbos, and then geo leads I can pull from a neighborhood. I pay $185 a month for that. It comes out of my business account, so it's all, write-off stuff anyway, but it works. So, I wanted to share this with you, but whatever, I'm not up there, so it's all good. So I just go in, I go to my contacts, and then I go to Fsbo file, and that's gonna have all my latest and greatest Fsbos this morning on a Monday, and I'm sure they've all been getting called like crazy. Okay, so mine's focused in, like Westchester, a lot of Chester County, and then media. So let's just see who we have here. I always do recon. I try to do recon on the listings. So I'll just do like the pause and look at the lead first, and then I'll pull up right. I just want to make sure I know what I'm looking at. I want to feel a little bit more confident when I look at how long he's owned it, what the mortgage is that he has possibly on it. I just like to have that information in alignment. It makes me feel more confident. All right, so who do we have here? Let's see, 7 Brandy Ridge Drive in Westchester. He's asking $915,000. Let's just pull this up on Zillow real quick.
I don't see an app called Zillow.
So this is 7 Brandy Ridge Drive, if you guys have your computers up or phone. Brandy Ridge, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 5,100 square feet. He's asking $915,000.
Is this media?
This is Westchester, 19382. Beautiful house. So in my head, automatically when I see these pictures, I'm like, do they have a realtor friend? Like, what's going on? Because it looks really nice, clean. So 2-story single-family residence on a great property in great neighborhood, location, fully redone, exterior with James Hardy siding, all new custom. So I love these. This is why I love these, because I'm like, I call Fsbos that have these beautiful properties, and I'm just like, your house is so beautiful. Why is nobody seeing it? Like, your house is so beautiful. You're only exposing it on the tip of the iceberg. Like, so few people are seeing the care and love that you put into this property. Let me show you how I can market it. It's gorgeous. So that's the approach that I'll take with this person. Geldwin aluminum clad windows and something trim, significant upgrades, interior, all hardwood floors on the first floor, solid wood doors, new hardware, crown molding throughout the home, large open floor plan. Like, it's got all the bells and whistles, hot tub, fully redone exterior. Okay, there's like a lot going on here. So listed, the property owner's number, this property is for sale, Zillow.
I think it's a friend. Because I'm forewarned they have a different address.
Wait, what do you mean?
The person probably selling it is probably doing it. Oh, wait, John Delaney?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Who is that?
The owner?
Oh. So I'm going to look it up on Bright. I'm going to look up 7 Brandy Ridge. Okay, great. And we have John W. and Karen B. Delaney.
Oh, yeah, so somebody else has the address on their name. That's what I was trying to say. The number belongs to somebody else, so
Okay.
most likely it could be being sold by somebody else.
Okay.
This is on forewarned.
Okay. So I'm looking at their sale and mortgage information. I like to get a little sneak peek. It looks like they did a refinance for $458 in 2016. So they do have probably a considerable mortgage left to pay on this. Could be a big reason that they don't want to list it with an agent. And then the other thing I'm going to do in Bright, I'm going to go to view comparable properties, and I'm going to see if they're like completely overboard in their ask price. Not that I'm going to bring that up during the conversation. What are you showing them?
The iPhone taking picture in the
Mirror.
basement bathroom.
Oh
Picture.
no!
Yes.
Oh, say it ain't so.
It's seat up or down?
Your body's in the picture. Very nice.
So that's just one of many reasons they need me. So let's just go ahead and give this person a call, Mr. Delaney. Okay, do I have everything I need to make this call? I do, right? Yeah. Oh, I was looking at price point. So they purchased it for $560 in 2004. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick peek at comps before I make this call. Again, I'm not going to get into price with him on the phone, but I just want to know you know, kind of for my own knowledge. You all know how to use Bright real well? Bright's a great tool. All right, let's just do it because I'm at the hour, so I want to respect everybody's time. Let's give them a buzz. I don't often do this in front of groups of people, so this is fun.
Turn your back.
We don't look.
I know.
I'm terrified for you.
It's okay, we're gonna rock out. All he can say is no, people. That's it. That's all he can say.
So it's been on Zillow one day. You listed it on Zillow on freaking Easter.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's,
that's 412. I put 415. Don't ask me. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 7, 5. I've already painted a picture of Mr. Delaney in my head. He's a professional. He works 9 to 5. He's very busy.
Your call has been forwarded.
So I don't leave voicemails. You want them to call you back.
They're probably real, but they didn't answer the phone.
Okay, let me see if I can get one more. We'll try to get one more on the line. And then I think what would be fun is just to have a class of doing this. Just making live calls and just having fun doing that because there's a lot that you can learn just from making live calls. Let's see what we got here. $3.99, we like this price point. John May, let's take a look real quick. Where is this? We're looking at 4951 Madison Drive in Brookhaven. I love Brookhaven. There's no photos on Zillow. I have no idea what this property looks like.
Realtor.
Just what you were talking about, Paul.
1780 square foot single home, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, located. It's been on Zillow for how many days? 4 days. That's over the weekend. Okay, so here's my approach for this. They were on all weekend, Easter weekend. People are out and about house shopping. There's no photos on Zillow. Like, if they don't have a listing right now, or if they don't have an agreement of sale in front of them right now, they need me. If they don't have 4 agreement of sales in front of them right now, they need me. All right, so this is where my head is at. So let's give these people a call. What's his name? Let's put it on public record.
John May and Jacqueline Siri.
Okay, 49.
Missing these calls.
Isn't this fun, you guys? Don't you just get excited? This is the hunt. This is the hunt.
I love your attitude.
Mhm.
Now, come
49
on, guys. Get with it.
That's the neighborhood where all president named streets and all the bottles were named after the president's wives.
See, you already know more than me. I know shit about this neighborhood. I'm just like, I know everything about it. That's what we're gonna pretend. All right, Mr. May. I have a feeling Mr. May's gonna be tough.
Yeah, this is an extra property.
I really want this Brandy Ridge listing. Okay, let me go. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, he went over the weekend. He doesn't have any pictures on Zillow. All right, let's call Mr. May. He needs me.
Yeah, I love how she reasserts herself.
Good morning, Mr. May. This is Angela White with Keller Williams. How are you on this Monday? Listen, I was checking out your listing on Zillow at 4951 Madison Drive. You've been on for 4 days. How's everything going? It's in an area that I service.
Just got the property ready.
Okay, I was wondering, is that why there's no pictures on Zillow yet?
Yeah, I mean, it was my grandmother's house. Like, we rented it out for like 15 years after she passed away. So we're just gonna remodel it and do everything.
Okay. Well, I mean, in this market, anything's selling. Are you guys open to talking with a realtor about listing it?
Yeah, we have real estate agents in our family. Obviously, we would need something daily. I don't know, but right now, it's kind of listed it. The person have a daughter wants to move in, and we're just telling her we're selling it, so I don't really know what I'm doing.
Okay, okay, fair enough. I hear you loud and clear, so it doesn't sound like the timing's perfect, just yet. Just one last question, and I'll let you get about your day. I appreciate you being so cool with me on the phone. The family members that you have that are in real estate, are they like full-time realtors? They're practicing realtors?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. All right. We just wanted to make sure. I don't know who they are, so just wanted to make sure that that they can be, that they're a good, reliable resource for you. Okay, perfect. Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck with the sale of the property, and I hope you have a great week.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
I think they
It could be
were-
Phyllis's.
I think it might be Phyllis
Sis.
Lynch's.
Yeah, either her
I'm glad you
father's.
said that because I was like, listen, they're not working full time. They're not doing it. They're not in the business.
They are full.
So, okay, cool.
May, right? Is
May.
it Frank May? Is that?
No, Frank, I think her father's Frank, but
So,
she does have a brother named
But
John,
he did a
too.
masterful job.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
she
listen,
did.
I don't care if grandma is a realtor. If grandma isn't selling houses, annually, if she's not reporting some income from her business, she's not a realtor that I'm competing with. That person's not competing with me. They need to work with me. Plus, working with family is not always great.
No,
It's just not. So I think we should do another class and just go ahead and make live calls like the whole hour because I love this shit. It's super fun. And now you should feel fired up because you want to go make calls too,
I'm
right?
writing down who's here so that you don't
Yeah.
decide you're not